Ryder.
The hell you did? You can't just undo 10 hours of work.
I had to. Your revamp risks power imbalance between decks, something we solved back home.
It's twice as efficient. Just because it doesn't match your sainted specs.
And now it does. As you say, deal with it.
Callow.
I know, just please don't let this distract you.
Ryder, this is Kandros. Sam warned us about Knight's attack. Unfortunately, one device triggered already. We lost a chunk of hydroponics.
Sorry, Kandros. I had to help someone out. Where's Knight?
We're tracking her down, but those devices are still live. I need you to take care of them, quietly. We can't afford panic.
First things first. Tan sent a little gift for your positive message. I'd make the most of it. Today's a tough one. The Exiles. Probably the most live-wire topic for our leaders. You've met the treacherous mutineers at Kadara Port. Some think the Exiles are a menace to be eradicated.
The Exiles have as many problems as the Initiative. Not every outlaw wants us dead.
Wow, it's almost heresy to hear that the Exiles are anything but filthy... well, exiles. Sorry, I have to cut this short. I need to prep for a meeting. Apparently some colonists want to talk about the series. Maybe they'll be willing to go on camera.
It's such a mess. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Son of a bitch, you played me.
Knight?
Yes, me. I let you near my son. You're not stopping this.
with our Milky Way descendants. As of now, beacons confirming arrival in Helios remain unanswered. This is HNS. All personnel, be advised.
I'm sorry, Lana.
Just trying to conduct procedures. Sorry, colonists are inside.
Knife-waving assholes with 3 strikes already. You want them, Kadar Port. Now shut it.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
Ryder, please. The Nexus doesn't need those computers. But we won't be safe from another overlord until they're gone.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. I sacrificed everything to stop it.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
Ryder, we cornered Knight, but she's carrying the last of those devices. I have a sniper ready, but she wants to speak to you. We could end this peacefully.
Any logistics updates? Convicted murderer Nilken Rensis exiled for his role in the killing of Security Chief Hiram Reynolds. This is HNS.
I would like to welcome our Asari pilgrims to the Nexus. You've had a long journey, but we're thrilled that Ark Lucinia has finally arrived. We ask for patience as we find homes for everyone. To those who doubted the future, the proof stands before you. The Asari live, and so does the dream. Ah, there's the hero who made it possible, Pathfinder Ryder. Do you have any words for us?
It didn't go as cleanly as I'd hoped, but I guess nothing comes easy.
Indeed, which only highlights the value of perseverance, a quality I champion myself. We all owe Ryder a debt of gratitude. In the meantime, please enjoy whatever comforts the Nexus can offer a weary traveler.
Excuse me. You're the one who saved us?
I am.
I owe you everything. If it hadn't been for you, I'd be dead.
Now we have a future.
A bright future. You've been through a tough time, but it gets better. There's plenty of good in Helios.
I can't wait to find it.
Please be mindful of guests visiting the Cultural Exchange Center. We ask that you extend your courtesy and cooperation to our new neighbors.
Kandros reports the sniper is ready.
Understood, Sam.
Sam. Such a human name. No one ever listens. Your father built his human AI implant. Overlord went on despite my...
You're trying to bury something, and I think that's what this is really about.
I thought Overlord might help my son. They made him a candidate for their butchery, so I sabotaged it. I faked rogue code and ripped him out. Alain was hurt terribly, but he was alive and himself, not a... First Overlord, then Sam. Horrors, forced on children. It has to end, even if I must do the unforgivable.
Helped my mother survive a terminal illness.
Many terrible things come from good intentions. I should know.
Sam and I helped Alain together. It's going to be all right.
No, the code I made, no one could fix it.
Sam did. Stand down and you can ask Alain yourself.
Here. The last device.
Thank you.
No matter what sentence they give me, I hope Alain will forgive me someday. If Sam really is what you say, perhaps it can forgive me too.
Please be mindful of guests visiting the Cultural Exchange Center. We ask that you extend your courtesy and cooperation to our new neighbors. Construction and repair continue. Help make their stay a comfortable one, and let's all celebrate yet another sign of our continuing progress.
But the plants have adapted to the Scourge's presence. Some even feed on its radiant energy. See this older specimen? The growth rings showed the Scourge's beginnings. The Pathfinder's scanner captured it perfectly.
Hirig, a yes or no would suffice.
Oh, yes. Properly steamed or roasted, naturally. We won't starve yet.
My model of Helios blossoms with data thanks to you. Here, please. You have earned this.
I can just tell it to calculate pi.
I calculate pi as a meditation.
chance.
No, we're done.
Should I apply for an outpost?
Hey, Vetra, have you heard anything about some lab techs?
Oh yeah, Kesh was mentioning that when we caught up.
Oh, wonderful. I'll have to pop by to say hello as soon as I'm done here.
I know what I'm gonna do.
Oh,
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
Going well, I hope?
As well as it can go with limited resources, yeah. Tiny steps.
I can't believe you said that.
Construction and repairs continue on various
Ryder, could we chat? I hear you found a stasis locker from the Solarian Ark.
Technically, someone else found it first, but yes.
How wonderful! I know it's not the Ark itself, but any sign is better than nothing, surely. Please, if I can help the search at all, just ask. Or ask anyway. You're good company.
I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
New email at your terminal, Pathfinder.
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Nexus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
For survival supplies, only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city. I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Vol's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Pathfinder, this is a tremendous honor. I must express my admiration for all you've done. Crossing the void between galaxies, navigating the Scourge to find Aya. Incredible.
The odds were against us, that's for sure.
Yet here we are, strangers from different galaxies conversing in friendship. Extraordinary. I am Mariko Darej, Chief Phoneron.
It's a privilege to meet you. Tell me about yourself.
I'm something of a pathfinder myself. I am a celestial observer, charting the movements of stars, planets, and the Scourge.
An astronomer. You know the safe routes out there?
We deploy satellites that alert us to new hazards and opportunities. But we've lost contact with several key observers. They've simply stopped. I sent a vessel to scan their last known locations, but nothing's been found. Your Tempest is highly advanced. I hoped you could aid our search.
Even Pathfinders need a good map. I'll look into it.
I knew you'd understand. I'll provide search nav points. And when I can finally reconcile our charts with fresh satellite data, I'll gladly share all we have.
You work on the solar panels. Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Ven? Thought you'd be in a Resistance holding cell.
That was Ephra's plan. He wanted to throw me down a hole once he got his precious answers. The Moshae convinced him to release me here. I volunteer and they let me see sunlight.
They didn't expect the Moshae to be in your corner.
Figures should be forgiving. All part of her image. The most shy keeps her high ground, and I'm the traitor who gets a second chance.
It's better than what Sloan would have done to you.
Lucky me. I should get back to work. They're not paying me to stand around. Oh, that's right. They're not paying me at all.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
Hey, Lexi. I tracked down some samples of the Angaran antiseptic you were talking about.
The Angaran antiseptic? Oh, Sumar. That's the name, isn't it?
Unrefined
Something
goods on
like
sale
that.
right here.
Can't wait to
Make
test
them
its
your own.
applications. Thank you very much, Petra.
I feel so out of place here. People keep staring at me. I can't tell if they're fascinated or afraid.
When I was little, I was scared of Turians. You're a stern species.
Not helping, Ryder.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. Tan out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I know what it's like, jumping out of the cryopod and into the fire.
You've had it far worse. My condolences on your loss. Here you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything. Any luck with Sorvis Len? Our continued presence on Aya may be at stake.
I'm working on it. When I have something, I'll let you know. That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
The Ambassador's messages are overflowing again. I'm not selling to aliens.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can... We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ambassador Riala sent me to check on you. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but dial it down. We're guests here.
Exactly. We shouldn't have to put up with this. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters, see if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Did you look at the internal structure?
I couldn't even get it open. It locked me out.
Bravo! I'm glad they finally let you into the city. You deserve it. This is Aya's Cultural Museum and History Archive. It's small, but you've already made it brighter.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge? What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around when the storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
I can't imagine losing everything that way.
You left your culture behind. This isn't much different. In any case, relics like this help us.
I'll come back when I have something.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
We'll take every precaution, but entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you.
Efra should have come to me.
Shh, Uxul, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's she doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Uxul, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. She risked her life to...
Sloan, look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you?
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Uxul. He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
I found a device Ven was using to communicate with the Archon. I think we can use it to triangulate that Ket flag.
Do now is board it, steal the Meridian artifact, and escape in one piece.
You've been there. Tell me what to expect.
I saw very little.
Corridors, an interrogation room, my prison cell. The Archon's vessel is a place of pain and death for the Ket's enemies. No one has attempted anything like this before. For all our sakes, you must succeed. Now it's my turn. Thank you for freeing Venturef at Kadara. I'm told you saved him from execution.
What will you do with him? Are there prisons here?
Ephra wanted to punish him. I suggested Ven help tend Aya's gardens. He spent too long surrounded by death. He needs to reconnect with life.
My translator doesn't know what to do with your title, Moshai.
Because it isn't a title, it's a reference. People from mythological times, before the Scourge. Legends say we once had many Moshai. Master inventors of unfailing wisdom, guided by boundless compassion.
That's a lot to live up to.
It's nonsense. Don't remember who first called me Moshai, but I do recall telling them to shut up. To my regret, the name stuck. I've minded less lately. Being the Moshai has its uses.
Thank you, Moshai.
Ishare.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me?
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
You lost someone you cared about. Was it because of the Vassal?
That's one way to see it. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand for us.
Pathfinder, Ephra cleared you to purchase weapons. Over my objections.
Hey, selling an alien weapons would make me nervous too.
I don't do this for Ephra. I respect the Moshai.
Good to see you. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya.
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
If we reward the Angara for their sacrifice, maybe they won't resent our being here.
And we can ensure their survivors receive compensation in situations like this. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
No rest for the weary.
You'll have to go back to Havaro.
I spent 10 years on the farm. It's my turn to live here.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.